hurts me. I stole something. Did I technically steal or did I not technically steal? Because I actually bought the thing that I stole. Did I take something from my child's room to use for my art projects? Yes. Yes, I did. That child is 9 months old. And that child does not care. And that child had never played with these ever, okay? She wasn't even using them. I bought this little set of wooden cupcakes as decoration for my younger child's room. I kept them in there for a little while. Neither of my girls really had any interest in them. They didn't really play with them. And I honestly just didn't really like the way they looked. I guess I didn't look at them closely enough when I ordered them. The colors are just kind of all over the place and they're just kind of The shelf that they used to sit on ended up being taken over by Palm Pals. The cupcakes, they got the boot. So I just kind of
collected those cupcakes.
Did either of my children even notice that the cupcakes were removed? No. Because they did not care about them in the slightest. So I don't want you to worry about them. They're gonna be okay. It's about me now. I would love to customize them and turn them into kind of more of my style. Will I be putting them back into my child's room? No. 1, because that spot has already been taken. 2, they're gonna be a little bit too fragile for little kids to play with. They're mine now. They will stay with me. That's what we're gonna be doing today. 5 little cupcakes. Let's do it. Okay, so let's look at these poor, unfortunate uglinesses. Let me just take some time to complain and be ungrateful for the effort that was put into these because hey, that's fun. Everyone loves it. Wait, now I kind of feel bad. Maybe they're not hideous. No, they're hideous. Okay, maybe you think they're adorable. I'm happy for you, but to me, these color schemes are a little bit haphazard. Okay, this is actually probably the cutest one, but even still, what does bright orange have to do with pale baby blue? No, these colors have never met before, and there's a reason for that. And then it just gets worse. Oh, an orange cake with a flat splotch of swamp green, and the sprinkles. White, red, black? Are those black sprinkles? Then this one, admittedly not as bad as the swamp green, but still, very interesting assortment of colors. What up with the awkwardly shrunken strawberry? Are we picking fetal strawberries now? Like, come on. That guy was clearly not ready for this. This one is just...
I don't really like this.
No, probably the worst. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Who is that? That little... What even are you? This last one just looks like the 3-color challenge gone wrong. So now that I've adequately roasted all of these, I'm gonna start with this little terror. You're not the worst,
but you're not good.
Phase 1 of this process, I'm gonna break out my air dry clay and it's getting a little crispy. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's so dry. Ugh. Water. I need water. I'm thirsty. Here, just... There we go. Now, aside from the shrunken toppings of these cupcakes, they are really flat on the top, and so my first goal is to give the frosting a little volume. So first I need to bring my clay back to life, do a little CPR, then form a little snake, a very now wet, slippery kind of, I'm just gonna curve this around like Oh, yeah, I messed it up. Wait, stop. Let me do this again. An even longer snake this time, and just curve this around carefully. Oh yes, there we go. Smooth that all out and add a new strawberry on top. This time we're actually going to use a ripe strawberry. She has lived her strawberry life and it is the appropriate time for her to die. Okay, why is that sad? I'm sad about a strawberry. I think this is way cuter. Now I'm just going to fix some of the little imperfections and just smooth that out with a wet paintbrush. I am going to let this one dry and move on to the next cupcake, which is my personal favorite of the group. I mean, I still kind of hate it, but I hate it less. Yay, you're special. I'm going to start again by creating a snake, but this one is going to be shaped a little bit different. In fact, all of the cupcakes are going to be uniquely individual, and while they are going to share a common theme, they're not going to be a coordinated set anymore. That is, if they ever were. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be before. This one is actually the one that I had an idea for first, which was to create some little cat ears, stick them on there, smooth them out all nice and cute. Plus a little cat tail, which I thought, let me be really expert sculptor here and use some wire like the big kids do.
crazy talented.
Look at me. I could be fancy. Look, wire. I'm cool. But this was just not working whatsoever. It was just looking like a fat turd of a tail. It's just not cute. So never mind. I'm not cool. I'm just a big, pathetic baby. So I just formed the tail without the wire, and it took me like 10 seconds. Why did I feel the need to complicate this? That was unnecessary. Anyway, she's finished. Once the clay was completely dry, I'm gonna go over the whole thing with a nice coat of gesso. My color scheme is gonna be pretty pastel for this one, so having a white base to start is key. Bringing out a fresh palette. Ew. Smells like stale plastic. I'm gonna plop in each of my paint colors. These are from my own paint set, by the way. You can get this on my website using my gorgeous QR code. I mean, hey, stop. I'm sorry, but please, someone tell me, where have you seen a more gorgeous QR code? I would like recognition. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this cupcake using my rainbow of colors in a beautiful gradient. And if the pastel rainbow with the cat ears and the tail, if that's not all signaling to you already, let me just help you out. This is rainbow.
Yeah.
No, not rainbow. Rainbow. I decided to turn these cupcakes into cupcake versions of my characters. I was going to do just 1 or 2 character cupcakes, and then the rest were gonna be, just normal. But then once I started designing the character cupcakes, I just couldn't stop. I just got carried away, and I just kept going. It's a good thing I only had 5 of these cupcakes, because I think I might have done like 100 of them. Once I have a beautiful blend on the front, I mean, this is just gorgeous. I could eat that blend. Yum. I'm gonna flip over to the back and do the same thing, which, let's be real, it's never as fun doing the same thing the second time. I'm all about it in the front. It's great. It's magical. But then I turn it around. I'm like, really? Again? I gotta do this again. Okay, fine. The bottom was also a bit of a messy situation, but I think I handled it. Finally, adding a nice soft vanilla cake color to the cake part, and then I added the inner ears in purple and pink, and then finally I added some stars and just little glitters to the cupcake liner. And here is the final cupcake, which, yes, I have to say, in my opinion, I like it much more than I did before. I'm actually really happy with how it looks. It's super cute. Here it is with rainbow. I will say, I was kind of just like eyeballing the colors from a distance. As in, I sat at my painting table and looked at my squishies from across the room instead of just getting up to go get them. So I knew that the colors were definitely not exact, but I didn't realize that they would be that different. Still, I think it's really adorable. It definitely reminds me of Rainbow the cat, and I had a lot of fun making it. For the next cupcake, Pop, here she is.
You little ugly thing. How rude.
I'm starting with the frosting once again, and this time I'm going with a nice, smooth, soft surf kind of shape for it. Ooh, it's one of my favorite frostings here. This one's gonna get a little chocolate bar accessory. So I'm making the little chocolate and just sticking it into the frosting, smoothing that all down.
Nice.
Once that's all dried, boom, it's gessoed and time for paint. Starting with a nice, rich, dark chocolate, and you'll never guess which character this is based on. No, I'm serious. You'll never guess. Because this character doesn't even have anything to do with chocolate at all. It's Misty. Misty is a mysterious black cat, hence the black cupcake liner that I'm now painting just right now. You may be surprised by the random selections of characters that I end up choosing for these cupcakes. I'm not doing a single one of my super popular characters.
No!
Yeah, to be honest, I did design a pickle cupcake first, but for whatever reason today I was just more excited by some of my other design ideas, so the pickle cupcake never came to life. I'm sorry, buddy. I still love you. You know I still love you. I really like the idea of doing a Misty themed cupcake, but none of her colors are very edible looking, and I didn't want to create too unedible looking of a cupcake.
Okay.
So I added the dark chocolate to the color scheme, which I think really helped it to look more reasonable. Then the green frosting is to match with her eye color, and so it has the same green gradient as her mystifying eyes. And oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with the way this looks. Final touch, I added purple speckles all over the cupcake liner, and this color comes from her nose and inner ears. I used that to make a little drizzle on the chocolate to match, and this one, I just just love it. It looks so much better than before, and it's so much more interesting, I think. This color scheme is pretty spot on for the original Misty, unlike some of the others. Sorry. But I think even by itself, this cupcake is just really cool looking. Next, we're doing this thing again. Yes, you've seen it.
It's another snake.
So I'm gonna make some more frosting. And this one, let me be honest, it's unremarkable. Okay, not to be mean, but you're like so standard. On top of the frosting, I added this giant clump, and this is actually going to turn into an ice cream cone. I added a little waffle cone texture in there, and hooray, she's finished. After some drying time and a quick coat of gesso, we're on our way. This frosting is actually going to stay bright white, but I am going to go over the gesso with a white acrylic paint. I have been asked a bunch of times, why do you go over the gesso with white paint when it's already white? To that I say, I don't know. I guess you don't have to. Gesso does have a very rough, matte, and almost chalky finish to it. To me, it looks unfinished. So I like to put the acrylic paint on top just to signal to my brain this is the final color. I'm painting the ice cream cone in a nice tan color and the cake portion in the same color to match, which in that process made a whole mess of everything. So now I have to go over all of that in white again. For the top, I'm adding some pink frosting dripping down, or I guess ice cream? No, that doesn't make sense. It's frosting on top of frosting that looks like ice cream on top of frosting. And the character that this is based on,
Any guesses?
No.
it's Sprinkle Panda. She is
The sprinkliest panda.
Stop.
Okay, so since she is black and white, I've added some black stripes to the cupcake liner, which I think looks so cool. I don't know why I'm so impressed by the color black today. Finally, I'm adding some sprinkles on top, which, yep, let's do it. Okay, so here is the final transformation. It's like a breath of fresh air, really. And every time I say something like that, I just hear all the critics in my mind saying,
Oh, I liked it better before. Oh, you ruined it.
I think this one is super adorable. If I would have picked up my lazy butt and brought Sprinkle Panda to my painting table, I would have realized that her white is actually more of an off-white, so it doesn't match perfectly with the bright white that I used, but still, let's go with it, okay? Also, I feel like I must mention, looking at this now, I think clay sprinkles would have looked better. Now I'm just being picky. Moving on to the next one, and yes, it's time to make the frosting. Let's see this one. Oh, scale from 1 to 10, I'd rate this one a solid 7.5. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Side note, does anyone else get bothered when people say on a scale from 1 to 10, but then pick a number outside of the scale? Like, how much do I like ice cream on a scale from 1 to 10? 100. Like, why did you give a scale to not even use it? I get it's just to show emphasis and it's just cute. Probably nobody cares about that except for me. So really just do your thing. This cupcake now has ears and wings. Wow, look at that. And he's dry and he's flying away. Oh no, come back. And he's back. He's gessoed. Wow, that was a beautiful story. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give that transition 150. I'm gonna paint these wings blue, and then the main frosting color is gonna be a beautiful yellow. For some reason, this just looks so tasty. I wouldn't normally consider yellow to be a tasty color, but this
is a tasty yellow.
Next, I went with a nice tan cake color and a matching yellow cupcake liner, going in with a dark brown stripe. For this one, I was 100% aware that I was straying from the original character color scheme, because while this one is based on Barbie,
Hi, Barbie.
I felt like changing the black to a dark chocolate was just gonna make it look so much more appetizing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting some slight Winnie the Pooh vibes here. But it's not. This is clearly Barbie, and it could only be. Once again, going with drawn sprinkles instead of clay ones. Missed opportunity, girl. Missed. It's fine. Here is the final transition from the old cupcake to Barbie cupcake. I was expecting the cupcake to clash a little bit with Barbie because of the black and brown situation, but actually these two are kind of perfect together. Although Barbie as a character is like almost soulmate level for me, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, he's 1,000. Okay, now I'm starting to understand why people do that. It's kind of fun. This one is not my absolute favorite of the group. It might be like third. It's third. Finally, remember that cupcake I sculpted in the beginning and then I said,
Well, wait for that to dry.
well, we're finally back to it. It's dry. And boom, gessoed. Now, I grabbed 2 of my dessert colors from my paint set, Eustace and Nilla, naturally. But instead of using them from the tube, I'm actually going to use these containers of sample paint from when I was actually testing my paint set for production. So I've gone vanilla with the cake, and then, oh, wait a second. This is not Eustace. No way this is Eustace. I know Eustace, and this is not Eustace. Look at this. Yeah, that is Eustace. That's what I wanted. I must have altered this color when I was using it on something else. Oh, yeah, look at that. I see some orange in there. Bye. I want to paint the whole frosting section in this luscious chocolate color. Unfortunately, the combination of the chocolate color and the dollop shape, it's looking a little bit poopy. But fortunately, that's exactly what I want it to look like. Yes, Poopy. It's Poopy, the dog that everyone very quickly and passionately became obsessed with. While his name was a little bit controversial, he is very well loved nonetheless. For this cupcake, I think I took the most liberty with as far as not making it super close to the original character. I mean, this cupcake was definitely inspired by Poopy, but not like intensely inspired.
What?
You know, I feel like for all of these cupcakes, I was just going with the flow a little bit more than I usually do. I was just kind of enjoying the process, and looking back, I think because of that, there are some little details that I would change. I did create a patchwork look for the cupcake liner inspired by Poopy's patches, and once I was done blocking that in, I hated how it ended in absolute chaos. That is horrible to look at, but then the rest of it looks so checkered, so I started going over some of the squares with more irregular shapes. I fussed over some different color options and then just kept going over this to clean it all up, which actually this took a really long time to do. But once those were all done, I finally went in with the patterns and just filled up every patch with different contrasting patterns, then finally outlines and stitches to all of them to make them look like more defined patches. Last touch was the strawberry seeds, and here is the final cupcake. The patchwork cupcake liner, it took forever, but I think it turned out really fun. The colors on this one are definitely not exact, but I really wanted to focus on the cupcake and do what was the best look for the cupcake. You need to focus
On you, sweetie.
Okay, forget about him. It's not about him.
You do what's best for you.
I think all of these came out really unique and different. As I said, they're not really supposed to go together as a set since I used just wildly different color schemes for each of them. But I think individually they're all really cute, and they do look pretty cute with their original character inspirations. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you next Friday. Bye!